This dusty old car was bought for just $3,000. Most people thought it was scrap metal, but a few months later, collectors were offering over $200,000 for it. And the craziest part, it had been sitting forgotten in a barn for nearly 40 years. The story started in a quiet, rural town in the United States. Behind an old farmhouse stood a wooden barn that looked like it hadn't been opened in decades. The doors were weathered. The roof sagged slightly under years of neglect. When the new property owner began cleaning the land, he decided to finally open the barn. As the doors creaked open, sunlight slowly spilled into the dark interior. Dust filled the air, and sitting in the corner, under years of dirt and spider webs, was a car. At first glance, it didn't look like much. The tires were completely flat. The one's shiny paint was faded and cracked. Rust covered parts of the hood and doors. The interior looked worn and forgotten. Most people would have seen nothing more than an abandoned piece of junk. But something about the car's shape looked familiar. The long body, the aggressive stance, the hidden headlight grille. So he walked closer and wiped the dust off the front badge. That's when he saw the name, Charger. Curious, he began looking more carefully at the car. It wasn't just any Charger. It was a 1969 Dodge Charger ART. Back in the late 1960s, this car had become one of the most iconic muscle cars ever built in America, known for its powerful V8 engines, aggressive design, and incredible street presence. The Charger RT was a dream car for many drivers, but this one looked far from legendary. The engine hadn't started in decades. The interior seats were torn. The chrome trim was dull and dusty. Still, the body was surprisingly complete. And that made him wonder, could this car actually be worth saving? Before making any decisions, he checked the VIN number on the doorframe. That small metal plate revealed something interesting. The car was an authentic RT performance model, and that meant it had originally been built with serious horsepower under the hood. Suddenly, the dusty barn find didn't seem like junk anymore. It looked like a hidden treasure. The $3,000 decision. The owner of the property didn't care much about the car. To him, it was just something taking up space in the barn. So he made a simple offer. $3,000. That was all it took to buy the forgotten muscle car. Friends and neighbors thought the purchase was ridiculous. The car didn't run. It needed serious work, and restoring an old muscle car can cost thousands of dollars. But the buyer believed the Charger still had life left in it. So he took the risk. The restoration journey. For the next several months, the Charger slowly came back to life. Inside a small garage workshop, the real work began. The engine was carefully removed and rebuilt piece by piece. Rust was sanded off the body panels. Damaged parts were repaired or replaced. The interior was restored with new upholstery that matched the original design. Fresh paint gave the car its bold, aggressive look again, and the chrome bumpers were polished until they shined like mirrors. Finally, after months of work, it was time to try something exciting: starting the engine. When the key turned, the big V8 engine roared to life. The sound echoed through the garage like thunder. The forgotten muscle car was alive again. After the restoration was finished, the Charger looked incredible. It looked like it had just rolled off the factory floor in 1969. Friends suggested bringing it to a classic car auction to see what collectors thought. When the Charger rolled onto the auction floor, people immediately noticed it. Collectors walked around the car, inspecting every detail. They checked they admired the restoration. And then the bidding began. $40,000, $70,000, $100,000. The numbers kept climbing. Soon the entire room was watching the bidding war. When the hammer finally dropped, the final price shocked everyone. Over $200,000. That dusty old $3,000 barn find had turned into a six-figure muscle car legend. Sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding under dust and rust. So, tell me.